Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, one last time from Freddy's joint, we drove out to Lover's Point to watch MbL playing as the Romans in red take on Mr. Yo playing as the Incas in blue. Now while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings with the goats and scouts of all manner and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age as fast as possible, let's take a look at the civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Romans are a mixed land-based naval civilization with a few strong unit features rather, that make them potentially very dangerous in the later stages of a game. To start with, their infantry units get double the effect of blacksmith armor upgrades, and they have access to the legionary. This is a tanky, well-armored, unique infantry unit that replaces their two-handed swordsmen and champions and comes with a pretty decent attack bonus against other infantry units. Now, to make their infantry even deadlier, the Romans can turn to their second unique unit, the Centurion. This is a heavy cavalry unit that increases the movement speed and attack speed of all militia line units under its command. Now, to overwhelm your opponent on the field of battle, the Roman can upgrade their entire militia line, knight line, and Centurion units to not only train faster, but come with a small charge attack. Think Burgundian Custelier. To back up their army, the Romans have access to one of the deadliest scorpions, if not the deadliest scorpions in the game. Not only do these siege units cost a lot less gold, I mean a lot, 60% less gold. Think Schlachter privileges for scorpions, except you don't have to pay for that upgrade. Their minimum range is lowered from 2 to 1. They can be upgraded to fire faster, and they benefit from ballistics, which means they track you down and they bolt the hell out of you. Now, to help a player get to the later stages of the game, maintain the might of the Roman Empire, Roman villagers gather resources and build and repair structures 5% faster than generic villagers. Pivoting our mind's eye, or actually, never mind our mind's eye, our actual eyes, to the bottom left, rather, oh my god, the bottom right of the map, we see Mr. Yo, the Incan in blue, a quintessential counter civilization. Is your opponent going cavalry? Well, then you can rely on your unique unit, the Kamayuk. This is a ranged infantry unit that carries an incredibly long spear and comes with a massive attack bonus against cavalry units. Is your opponent going infantry? Perhaps you're playing a civ like the Romans. Then you can rely on your second unique unit, the Slinger. This is an archer unit that comes with a pretty big attack bonus against infantry and can be upgraded to get a small attack boost. Now, will your opponent go archer units? Well, then you can rely on your skirmishers, which not only get all archery range, blacksmith, and university upgrades, but can also be upgraded to have no minimum range at all, which is basically one of the biggest weaknesses of the skirmisher. Now, to make the Incan army tankier on the field of battle, the Incas can upgrade their Kamayuks, their slingers, and their eagle warriors to get extra melee and pierce armor, and to help them build their military industrial complex so they can go and wage war out onto the map. Their military units cost less and less food as the game goes on, all the way up to 30% less food in Imperial. They do start the game, if we noticed in the beginning, with one free llama, which does not sound like much, but not only is it an extra unit you can actually scout with, but it's also an extra 100 food, unlike the Lithuanians who get it automatically. In this case, you get it in a bit of a more mobile fashion where you can use the unit to scout if you want. Their buildings also cost 15% less stone. Their houses support 10 population instead of 5, which does free up wood in the earlier stages of the game. And their villagers are harder to raid. I guess they're harder to rage also, but they're harder to raid because starting in Castle Age, they do benefit from all blacksmith upgrades, rather blacksmith infantry upgrades. And by the way, the Incas get all infantry blacksmith upgrades. So those villagers potentially very, very difficult to deal with in the later stages of the game. Those are the two civilizations, both with two unique units, both with power spikes and very powerful units in their own right. Personally, I am always excited when I get to see the Incas, because again, when you describe a civilization, or when I describe a civilization as the quintessential counter civilization, you always love to see it pitted against other civilizations to see whether or not they stand up. Now, a lot of people have a lot of opinions about the Incas, how far they can push out, whether it's a more of a defensive versus offensive civ. Uh-oh, the goats have to scurry underneath the safety of the town center as MbL brings a scout forward, has discovered his opponent's base. Mr. Yo has seen the house. Okay, now he's going to discover the barracks. Both players heading up to Feudal, as I have been rambling on about why I'm always excited to see the Incas. But in any event, Lots of different opinions about this civilization, lots of different play styles, and I am always excited to see it as our Inca hits feudal. First, a few seconds ahead of his opponent. Let's take a look at where his resources are as he plops down in archery range. Primary gold pretty damn exposed, but with the wall off that he's creating, should be nice and secure, at least initially. Stone a little bit off campus to the southwest, although could use it to as part of a wall off here. And then additional gold to the east, additional gold to the north, and additional stone in the very, very, very forward position. A Roman, whose base has now been discovered fully and explored fully, also has his primary gold very exposed, and not really walling off the forward portion of it is MbL like Mr. Yo has done. Where's his primary stone? A little bit south, so a bit more secure, even though it's completely open, but it's a bit further south, a bit further in the middle, so not really within Mr. Yo's avenue of attack. And then additional gold to the back. Looks like where's the other gold? Oh, no, never mind. 2 gold piles to the back. Pretty damn good here for our Roman. I mean, they're pretty far away, but they're pretty damn secure as well. Stone, though, on the other side. Mr. Yo continues his scouting. No, never mind. He just kind of stops. I thought he would continue to see whether his opponent is walling himself off. And let's take a look at forest placement to see how easy these players have it when it comes to walling off their bases. North, southeast, and west. So a little bit of a triangle-shaped base here developing for our Roman. And basically the exact same thing. East, west, and south. I mean, this is west, this is east. I was looking here, but I was clicking here. Does that make sense? It makes no sense. In any event, east, south, and west. So the northern perimeter of Mr. Yo's base completely open. Does he care? He is the one putting on aggression. Forget the whole militia thing. That's yesterday's news. We are now in a bit of a Three Stooges, Spearmans, Archer, and Scout situation, and they get the first kill of the game. Despite MbL's attempt to wall it off, not quite quick enough, and Mr. Yo's army gets the kill. Absconds, who ultimately did get it, not the Eagle. It was the Archer unit. Now turns around, and not only did he kill the villager, now he wants to burn the villager's house down. That is a very, very sadistic, vindictive Archer, but he's one who also has to be a little scared here. Oh, they're getting sandwiched. They're getting sandwiched. He has to be scared. Why? Because there's skirmishers on the field, and now the counter unit has appeared for our Roman, who gets the spearman, should get the Archer as well. If not now, then at least in the next little while. I mean, he can turn around with his scout and get the Archer. Not that he wants to. He's going after Mr. Yo's Eagle Scout. Ooh, we got to zoom out a little bit more. Archer does ultimately die behind a few beautiful, what are these? Palm trees. Okay, so we're in a bit of a more tropical climate, I guess. Always love to see it. And look at that. The entire expeditionary force of our Inca is done, but there's a follow-up, and it is Eagles. Now, here is the question I have. Does our Inca want to go Eagles on a grand scale? Is that part of his, let's be cool and use the word meta for this game? Or is this just to get in there, get these skirmishers, having seen that his opponent has gone full balls to the wall skirmishers? You can now start sniping them because the Eagle, the Pierce armor of the Eagle. The reason I ask is because not only do the Roman infantry units, I mean, every infantry unit comes, every militia line infantry unit comes with a pretty badass attack bonus against Eagle Scouts. But with the Cometa 10Cs upgrade, if I'm saying that right, the Romans, they also get that +5 charge attack. So the Eagles are basically going to be slaughtered. And these are not Mayan Eagles that can be upgraded to have 100 HP at the end of the day. These are just basic Eagles. I mean, they can get a bit of extra armor, but whether or not that armor will stack well against the charge attack of the Roman legionaries or any militia line units, I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I always get ahead of myself, and that's kind of scares me, you know. Some comments sometimes when people show up. First of all, there's a lot of support for the channel, which I love. So let's take a moment while the scouts circle the skirmishers to say a big thank you to everyone who watches. If you're watching me for the first time, second time, 50th time, maybe you've been here since October of last year, who knows, and you haven't subscribed, please do. But like I said, super fantastic community. I'm having the time of my life doing this. We're approaching my 1-year anniversary, by the way. I know Social Blade says that I started on September 1st, 2022. But the reality is that's when I opened the YouTube channel. But until I got the courage, until I got the cojones to start posting regularly was the end of October, and I consider that to be my real anniversary. By the way, what's the eagle attack now? +2. We'll jump up to +6, +10 eventually. But what was the point of all this? Instead of patting myself on the back, which, as you guys know, big narcissist that I am, I love to do, is to say that there are some comments sometimes that, oh, good last minute catch there, but oh, the stupid man-at-arms blocked the construction of the house. Not that it was important. And look at this. Oh, but is this open? No, it can't be open. Oh my god, no, the alley, MbL interrupts my self-congratulatory pat on the back to, I guess he hasn't lost that much so far at all, actually. The Eagles should get this villager. Okay, they actually do get a villager, but that's an expensive get there for our Incan. Anyway, as I was saying, there's people who love to comment, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you're an idiot. You know, you have no knowledge of the game. All you do is call play-by-play. Oh, there she's holding an axe in her left hand and she's picking at the gold. But then when I try to predict things, the same jerks always come back and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You predicted he would go this way. They went that way. I mean, this is when you've gotten to a level like this, if I was to cast, for example, something like, first of all, where are you going and what are you building here? Sneaky villager. He sees the villager, does Mr. Yo. But anyway, if I was to cast lower elo games, for example, like T90's the Legends series, lower elo, the LELs, I mean, it would be pretty standard to say this civ is going to go this and this civ is probably going to go this. But when you're casting games like this with players that are this high ranked, their versatility just makes me a little bit scared to always try to predict where things are going. What's the bonus against the Eagles now? Yeah, I jumped up to that 6 that I was mentioning earlier. For example, when you see the Romans, are they going to go infantry? Are they going to go ballistas? Are they going to go both? Are they going to go heavy centurion? We've seen centurions by players like Doubt just massing them. I don't know where these guys think they're going. They do have 1 kill, but softened up, and here we go. The second Mr. Yo saw the infantry, the natural predator comes out with a massive +10 attack against infantry. Means that these long swordsmen are not long for this world. Get it? LOL. But yeah, suffice it to say, what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is you're never going to make everybody happy. So make yourself happy. And if other people join in on the happiness, which I'm happy to say almost 4,000 of you have subscribed and are joining in on the happiness, I am very happy to see that. Then all the more power to you. And leave all the naysayers behind. Ooh, we've got a bit of a mango war here. Let's see whose micro is better. Neither player taking any kind of serious damage. Just need 1 more. Oh, that's so sour. When you get the tip of the mangonel, you need 3 shots. Oh, and the Roman mangonel. But the eagle comes forward. The eagle comes forward. The eagle goes back. An attack round there from MbL. Does manage to get a little bit of HP, I think. And now he can't chase in, can MbL, because the slingers are here. And there we go. It will our Roman continue pumping out infantry? Yes, he is. He's going up to 8 longswordsmen, despite seeing that Mr. Yo's going slinger play. But you know what? Only 3 slingers? 1 does die to the skirmishers. Mr. Yo might want to get another archery range. How many archery ranges does he have? Just the 1. Interesting. If you see that your opponent is committing to infantry, okay, now he's adding a few more. You need to go slingers. I mean, what the hell? +10 attack bonus against a unit that has 60 HP. And this one attacks 2 seconds, so not the fastest archer attack. Siege workshop under siege. Steven Seagal nowhere to be found. Another blue mangonel bites the dust. Mr. Yo, though, cool as a cucumber, probably trying to use his eagles for their mobility. Will get it. Fantastic. This distraction force on the left doing a brilliant job keeping half of the infantry away, which allowed those 3 or 4 eagles to absolutely close the distance here. But now Mr. Yo's in a little bit of trouble. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. I don't see any villagers on stone for either player. Both of them are in castle. He stopped repairing the siege workshop because how the hell can he with all these skirmishers? But the mangonel finally in the defensive position. both players not really getting the greatest of mangonel shots this game. Not gonna lie. Well, it looks like for now the siege workshop is safe. Another mangonel shot says get the hell out of here. But the siege isn't done. The villager, oh, look at that. Mjolnir in her hand, getting ready to finish building the house. Finish building the house. Behind this, let's take a look. Our Roman, one villager ahead, double the army count, but half of it is in very badly wounded skirmishers. Oh, Mr. Yo tries to come in with a sneaky little side move. Has MbL walled off the left side of this base? No, it's open, right? Why did he build? Oh, that palisade was from when he was constructing the structure. Another blue mangonel falls, but two more red mangonels will fall. Skirmishers finally take a few shots to the face here. Now the mangonels are all dead. Siege has been reset to 0, so we are back to the bipedal action that we want to see here. Forget the mangonels, forget the attack rounds. Let's just see a whole bunch of units engage into each other. Ooh, that's so sour. It's not enough to one-shot. He doesn't have enough slingers to one-shot these longswordsmen, which is very problematic. Especially since, I mean, there's only 5 skirmishers here, but technically, again, the slingers are archers, so they do take extra damage. Another eagle falls. I mean, Mr. Yo is doing what Mr. Yo always does. I mean, he always is very cool as a cucumber, doesn't panic. Mr. Yo is a fantastic, fantastic teacher of this game. You know, all of these pro players show us something very different. You want to look at early game mechanics. You want to perfect the early stages of your play. Watch Hera. You know, you want to see how to remain cool under pressure. Watch the King of Holds, Mr. Yo. I mean, how many of us with this army bearing down on us would be mining gold right underneath it? Literally 3 tiles away from the army, he's mining gold. With an army a third of the size of his opponent. So this is a good lesson for all of us. And all of the players teach us. You want to know how to put on a crazy amount of aggression? Watch it out. You want to learn how to play defensive? You want to know how to build up a massive economy? Watch the Viper. Oh, another mango down. The speed of these eagles is just absolutely wrecking these siege units. Oh, that being said, he does not get the last mangonel. By the way, where is the villager? She is still here. With her... Has anyone ever asked the developers to change the Romans' language that they speak right now? Because I think they're speaking the same as the Britons, right? Mandatum. Yay, ready. Right? It's the same as the Britons. You'd think since the Romans came out, they would have upgraded the language pack or whatever needs to be upgraded. I mean, there's a lot of little scuffles happening around the map that are very much to our Incans' detriment. The Incans can't take this army on one at a time. Again, the slingers are fantastic, but you need more than 2 of them. Otherwise, these longswordsmen are going to close. And now, Mr. Yo, the northern part of his base has been just cracked open like an egg. And even though he's sending a few slingers, oh, you know what? This is amazing. He's going to see the villagers carrying their giant nuggets of gold. Oh my god, he sees the villagers, he attacks them, so he obviously didn't notice them, so he knows his opponent is coming in for some kind of sneaky something. Both players finally have villagers on stone, but our Inca is first to get that 650 mark. Mangonel takes a bit of damage. Villager still here, very aggressive with her basket. Is he trying to thief his berries? Why the hell does she have a basket in her hand? The gold miners have arrived. Incan Mangonel is down. The Eagles, though, the Eagles find the exposed Mangonel here. And it goes down. Oh my goodness, doubt. Castle for MbL. But the Mr. Yo says, nah, not on my watch, man. Not on my watch. Brings no fewer than 34 villagers to build this castle. But this Mangonel is here. Is it a little bit too little too late situation? Blue's got his own mango out as well. Oh, the blue castle is going to go up. It looks like red was hesitating a little bit. He hesitated. How far was that castle? I didn't see. Oh, I don't want to click rewind, but it is down. MbL losing a whole bunch of stone there. That castle was very far along. If you're not familiar with how resources work in this game when you get them back, let's say the castle, 650 stone. I mean, except for the Incas, which are 15% cheaper in stone. But for the Romans, they don't get no discount on stone. So 650 stone. Let's say the castle, you build it up to 50%, and then you delete it, you cancel it. you only get 50% of your resources back. If you build it up to 60%, you only get 40% of the resources back. So that castle was pretty damn far along, which means that our Roman lost a whole bunch of stone there, but now is pivoted. He does not want to leave. This is not infrastructure you want to leave behind. A bunch of houses, a siege workshop. Your entire army is here. MbL expanding as well to the back of his own base. How many town centers is for him? This is his second. Mysterio behind this has already gotten 3 up. He's ahead 6 villagers, about 10%. But his stone miners are now under attack. Is there enough stone here to help with another castle? Ooh, just barely. Just barely. Roman castle is out. One thing I hope that our Roman does is start mixing in a few Centurions. Because remember, they increase the movement speed and attack speed of these units under their command, these militia line units. Ooh, attack round, attack round. Oh, MbL sees it. MbL sees it and runs away. Oh, that could have been very bad. That could have been very bad for Red there. But yeah, they move 10% faster. They attack 25% faster. 25% faster attack for infantry is almost Japanese level, which is just bonkers. So I'm always a little bit surprised when Roman players, especially at a higher Elo level, don't mix in any Centurions. I mean, they're not a cheap unit, don't get me wrong. 85 gold, 75 food is basically a Mameluke. I mentioned their big, long, shafty spears, and here they are, the Kameyuks making an appearance. Will they be enough to save this Mangonel? Yes, they are. Oh, 20% mark is hit. The villagers have to get the F out. But our Incan is building a interesting army here. Kameyuk's not exactly the unit I expected against infantry. I definitely thought he'd build more than 2 slingers. But they can attack one behind the other. They're like step lancers without the horse. Let's take a look at their attack bonuses. Camel and cavalry and war elephant. So not exactly a counter infantry unit. I think Mr. Yo here probably going for numbers and positioning instead of units like the slingers. I'm really surprised. I'm surprised by 2 things. Number 1, he's only stopping at 2 slingers. And, oh, the town center finally goes down. Number 2, our Roman isn't building a single Centurion. He's got 20 longswordsmen. They can move faster. They can attack faster. Another face-off. Another cancellation by our Roman. 570 stone only now. What is going on? Mr. Yo is just absolutely gutting his economy. I mean, at first he brought 34 villagers. Now he's bringing 16 villagers. That's a lot of idle time for these villagers. Kameyuks on the low ground should not be engaging into these units. Let's take a look at their attack bonus still. Oh, no, we've seen them before. Sorry, we saw them before. I was going to say against eagles, except that we got 1 eagle. Where is the Seagull Scout, by the way? Oh, okay. Poking away. Have managed to get MbL's Siege Workshop. MbL says, okay, you know what? I tried it once. I tried it twice. I'm not going to try it a 3rd time. I'm just going to pill off my castle down. King of the Hill Castle as his infantry maneuvers north. These skirmishers, how the hell are they still alive? When's the last time we saw at the 40-minute mark of the game? Oh, speaking of being alive, not so for this monk. When's the last time we saw units from Feudal Age survive until the 40-minute mark of the game? I should say actively survive, because, you know, sometimes they'll put a scout like right here or an archer or something right there. We've got a long swordsman approaching a gold mine. We've got Kameyuks approaching the stone. Tinkle, tinkle, go their spears as they absolutely slaughter these villagers. It looks like the gold pile to the north is also being taken out. What's the movement speed on these guys? They seem to be moving pretty damn fast. 1.1. Okay, so basic movement speed. And now this swordsman is going to have a fun time. Mr. Yo doubling down on the Kameyuks. And here we go. You see them attacking one behind the other. They've got some pretty good pierce armor. +2 against these skirmishers, which don't really do any damage, any bonus damage to them. I should have specified when I said they have good pierce armor. I meant specifically against these guys. Because again, I know someone in the comments will be like, well, it's a base of a 2, blah, blah, blah. More and more Kameyuks are coming out. Mr. Yo with a 4th castle. We know exactly what unit he wants to mass produce. 24 Kameyuks are out. +2. The Roman with double the armor upgrades is at a +4, but all of his infantry is gone. Butt to the butt. 25 seconds away from Imperial. Kameyuks are here. Are we going to get to see Legionaries? Please, let's see Legionaries. And please add in a few Centurions. Like I said, you don't really see them in the higher elo games, which is always a little bit strange to me, you know? Like I said, there's always some of these little things that I wonder about. Oh, converted Kameyuks, his brothers turn on him from the high ground. Yeah, but the priest, the monk, sorry, the priest. Now I'm going to be able to actually say warrior priest. Oh, I think the game glitched out there for a second. Or maybe my mouse did. But yeah, now I'm excited. I'm excited to start casting the Armenians, the Jordans. That warrior priest unit looks super damn cool. I wonder how the healing mechanics, will it be like a passive healing mechanic, or will you actually have to actively click on units? In any event, that is neither here nor there. What's here, and there is a big fat Roman trebuchet. Where's the second one? Shows he's got two. Oh, wait, is it in the backwards position? Okay, yeah, it's here. So he's starting to take down the castles of Mr. Yo, who has chosen this moment to attack a mining camp after gutting the villager population of that mining camp. I mean, okay, your castles are under attack. Your enemy is massing right at your front border, and you are going after a mining camp, and now after a mill? Now after a farm? I mean, what the hell is this? Don't get me wrong, I love to see synchronized poking. You guys know that. But man, first castle down, Mr. Yo left with only 3. Second one will fall as well. Maybe, maybe not. No way that he can get at this Treb except for this Mangonel. Kameyuks are moving forward, but remember, their +1 range is going to screw them because the castle murder holes doesn't matter. They're like step lancers. Because of that 1 range, they are going to get absolutely wrecked unless he move commands them right next to the castle and then attacks. But if you just right click on a castle with a Kameyuk, you are donezo. 28. Oh my god, 15 seconds away from Legionaries. Get out a Centurion. Mr. Yo's infrastructure is just being taken down bit by bit. 3 castles down, a 4th remaining, but a 5th being added in an incredibly rear position. Where are his Kameyuks? Why is there a random Mangonel here? What is going on? Mr. Yo, where is your army? Oh my god, come help your Kameyuk brothers out. They are being chased down by these Legionaries, which should come with what, a +10 attack now? +8 against Eagle Warriors. Again, no Centurion, no Slingers. What is going on in this game? Oh, what a fun unit, this Roman. Somebody in a live chat was talking about how it looks like a almost like a dwarf unit, like it looks kind of small, but I think that's just because of their giant shields. I mean, our Roman is chasing. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious. The Kameyuks, the Mangonel is done. Mr. Yo cut his army in half at the worst possible time, and now he's getting fabric shields. I don't know what to do. I'm very scared here for Mr. Yo. He loses a town center. He's down to 1 town center and 2 castles, one of which is in the very rear position. He's going to take this fight by virtue of numbers alone. But what can he do here? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Remember, they get blacksmith upgrades, so they're attacking at a 3+2. They've got 6 pierce armor, these villagers. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Triple gangbang on this one legionary who does not manage to get the Centurion, but yeah. Wow, Mr. Yo, why did he split his army in half? Why were these Kameyuks raiding? That is not a raiding unit. I mean, look, any unit is a raiding unit, don't get me wrong, but save that for your Eagles. Wow, so the Centurions haven't made a single, oh no, look at that. Look at that, he's training 2 of them. One of them in the forward position, but Mr. Yo, look at his base, absolutely demolished. I think he split his army at possibly the worst time, and because of that, our Roman, who clumped his entire army here to the center and then added a bit more to reinforce and get rid of Mr. Yo's 11 kills on these recruits, just absolutely takes this. And man, he didn't succeed the first time placing a castle. He didn't succeed the second time placing a castle. But man, the third and the 4th time worked out quite well for our Roman. Let's take a look at the stats. That was a super fun game. 99 legionaries. I mean, let's call it what it is. Long swordsmen for the majority of the game. 73 elite Kameyuks, and again, basic Kameyuks for the majority of the game. Peak APMs, not too far apart, 24-minute mark, 31-minute mark. APMs also not too far apart themselves. Economy, yeah, I can't really see it being that different right up until the end. Yeah, there you see that blue line just collapsing as Mr. Yo's entire settlement comes crashing down. All of the resources in favor of our Kameyuk. He also got 3 relics, despite losing that 1 monk that we saw, but only 561 gold, which means that this game, yeah, didn't really last that long, so that the gold couldn't really accumulate. 2 castles worth of stone approximately, a little bit more gold, a little bit more food, a little bit more wood. So again, less than 10% difference in economy is always fun to see, especially with 2 powerful players like this. Villager kill count also fairly identical, 31 to 37, and total kill count, our Roman just kills 30 more units, and those 30 are probably all those Kameyuks that he managed to slaughter everywhere. And even though these villagers did get the treb, look at how many villager bodies are just lying around that treb as these legionaries chase them. 13 kills. How many? 12 of those are villagers. Wow. Wow. I think just, I mean, let me know what you think. A critical error here by Mr. Yo, sending these Kameyuks. Your opponent was trebbing down 2 of your castles, and instead you choose, I mean, it was a good move to kill the villagers that were here, but then to focus on the mining camp, to focus on the farms, on the mill. I mean, yeah, 12 HP. So he obviously tickled away at the HP of that farm. It looks like he was attacking this farm too. And then the legionaries just came in and just absolutely wrecked him. But MbL adding Centurions a little bit too late, I think. Could have had a much easier time dealing with all these units with a Centurion that, again, 10% faster movement speed, 25% faster attack, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, I'm super happy with this game. Anytime you get to see legionaries taking on Kameyuks or other unique units, it's always fun. And like I said, anytime you see the Incas, I'm just always fascinated to wonder and see how they managed to hold against a civilization. Mr. Yo, I mean, died a rich man. Where are your slingers? Where the hell are your slingers? Your opponent went mass infantry. You have the infantry killer. It's basically a hand cannoneer with that plus 10 attack. And man, oh man, Mr. Yo, I think held as long as he could, but ultimately the army composition betrayed him. The army positioning betrayed him. And even though he did have a ton of mushrooms worth of castles, they all got trebbed down, with the exception of the one he built emergency in the back, which again, I mean, what's the point of this? To protect some gold? Was he planning on expanding here? I'm shocked that Mr. Yo didn't get this relic, by the way. Mr. Yo, the absolute relic enthusiast of Age of Empires. Maybe he just lost his monastery. No, the monastery's here. Maybe he lost his monks and didn't want to spend the gold, all that, you know, he wanted to die a rich man at 1371 gold. And that's exactly what he does. Taps out, lives to fight another day. It is our Roman MbL who takes this after a few bad attempts to establish a position here. He finally does manage to get his Roman machine into gear, let's put it like that, and just sweeps over, destroys. I mean, look at this. Look at this Incan settlement. It is gutted. It is destroyed. It is open for the taking, and that is exactly what MbL did to take the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.